Hello, tankers, and welcome back to another episode of Team Able, Anything But Last. I'm Stalker13R, and today we're going to look at Tier 8 British Mediums. We're working our way up in the tiers through these videos, and some of the hot buttons in World of Tanks have been Tier 8 and being bottom tier. Now, they just came out with an update, World of Tanks did, and everybody says, well, they didn't fix the matchmaker, it's broken. Well, I've got a little bit of bad news for you. Tier 8 matchmaker isn't broken. It's Tier 8. So today we're going to roll out, and I'm going to take a look at the gun and put the gun stats up here. You can see in a Tier 10 game, it's not as much gun as you'd like, but it's got enough pen that we can get some stuff done. The British mediums aren't known for being the best medium tanks in the game, and at Tier 8 getting bottom tiered in a not ideal medium, it can be frustrating for some. So we're going to stack that deck against ourselves. We've got some live capture, but I'm recording the audio later. So here you can see we're bottom tier. Now Claus Killerman, Klaus's Corner, shout out to you Klaus, did a great video on map tactics on this map. So go over to YouTube and check out his map tactics video on this map. I'm going to do it from the other side of the map than he did, but the concept works the same, so I'm going to let you get that map tactic strategy from him. And I'm just going to talk about how to be an effective bottom tier in that Tier 10 game. So we're going to move up like a boss. We're not going to sit back, and we're not going to, just think that we can't get anything done. And, we can only get so much done, but the role's a little different. So here we are, we've moved up. Now we're doing two things in this position on the map. I want to disrupt and damage the movement of enemy vehicles heading towards the town, so that when they show up in town, they've got a couple of hits of hit points already off of their total, so that our tanks will be able to deal with them more effectively when they get to town. Now, if I can hold up 1 in 3 vehicles that's moving towards the town, then what they'll do is they'll feed those targets to our team in the town more one at a time rather than all at once. And that'll give them the reloading time to get that DPM up and deal with those targets. It'll be a lot easier. The other thing that we're doing is we're protecting their flanks so that this light tank up here on my right can't do the same thing to them that we're doing to their team. So you can see our teams down there in the town. They've taken our side. One thing about this position is I can get these shots in. I can disrupt them. I can soften up those targets. It's not my role to be getting top kills in this game. I just want to disrupt and delay the enemy that's moving in so that our guys can deal with them more effectively and win that fight when they start brawling in the city. So now I'm concerned about this vehicle on my right. I've sat here and fired my gun. I'm not camping. I'm in a forward position. But as soon as I'm not firing my gun, I need to adjust my position. Otherwise, I go from support firing to camping. So I'm going to move just up the hill. And the rule about this position over in this general area is don't cross the road. If I stay... Oh, I missed what would have been a good shot there. But he still knows I'm there. And he's got to be cautious. Anything I can do to delay his entry into that town is going to buy my team time to get in a better position to deal with him. So I see that light tank's starting to make his end run. I knew he was going to do it eventually, and we're going to be spotted. We've got to get him out of the game. So I'm going to put a shot into the back of him there, and I'm going to move up. Now I'm going to break that rule and cross this line here. You'll see what happens in a second, but I've got to get this guy out of the game because he's starting to get aggressive, and he's going to make plays. So we'll get him out of the game. You'll see I did take a hit there. Now the guys in that back corner, that is a camping spot. They haven't been firing their gun the whole game. They're not in a position to affect the battle. They're just waiting for these guys that have now pushed through the town and won to come across that open field, and they'll get a few shots in before the overwhelming numbers make it across that field and take them out. So that's kind of the difference between what we did doing a support play and what they're doing, which is camping. Now, in game, should you rage at campers or ping the map and tell them where to go? those is tier 8, 9, and 10. If they haven't figured that out by now, they're not gonna. It's the situation that is on the battlefield. Accept it and work with it for what it is. Just work around them. Don't waste your time. So I've got an E75 over here. He's on a lot of health. And I'm trying to get that spot back in there to that little camping knoll. They're just on the edge of my view range and they're just not coming up, but I really don't want to go out in the open. I want to give my team a little more time to move farther forward, so that at least if I do go out there and get spotted, and we'll get a little side shot into this guy. And I was hoping to get a couple of more, but he disappeared back off the scope. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can move up just a little bit. Sometimes even just 10 or 20 yards can make all the difference between spotting and not spotting. Now, I just got a spotting assist ribbon there. I'm not sure which of these vehicles off to my right that was, but just being in this position is keeping them on. Now, I loaded up an APCR round because it's an E75 and it's the last hit. I just want to get that gun out of the game. It's not that I'm trying to steal the kill and pad my stats. I thought I'd try a blind shot there. But I just want to get that gun out of the game. If I have the opportunity at tier 8 medium to get an E75 out of the way, I'm going to do that. So my team's moving up. I wanted to get out here where we could spot. I still have the APCR loaded up. I think I'm going to shoot one more round before I realize and switch back to normal, because I don't want to spam those rounds. I have no problem using them on an E75, or one of these super tier 8 gold tanks that has, incredible armor for the tier, but I only want to use them when I need them. So now we're going to get to that end game stage where we all go, oh, there's only 3 left, we're dominating the game. I want to get in there. I know my team's on the way. I know they'll all be here soon. I can see these guys moving up. But what do? I expose to a scorpion. Now I could sit here, fully aimed in, and wait for him to pop up in the same spot and be fully aimed in, but I decide to adjust my position and try to make the aggressive play, and I pay the price for it. But we made a good contribution to our team here. We're a tier 8 medium, we're bottom tier, we delayed the enemy team from getting into town, we softened them up with some damage, we protected their flank so they could get to the town without being damaged like we did to them, and we put this game out. You're getting out and securing that map position is really the key to winning. If your team can move out and gain superior map position early in the game, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a win. But you can't move too far forward. So again, you don't want to go forward of that road until things have been pretty secure and you're at least at the midpoint of the game, if not later in the game, and then you can start moving forward and working up that line. And if you make that play to cut across like that light tank did, that was too soon, and what happened? He got taken out. So there you go. There's a win. Tier 8 medium in a bottom tier in a tier 10 game. How'd we end up on the stats for the team? Nothing too impressive here, just solid team play. We didn't have to moan about being bottom tier or our tank wasn't as good, and look at that. We're top of the list for the team. So I'm going to go ahead and let the stats roll through here again. It's not that this was an outstanding game. It's not the best I've ever had in this tank. But I just wanted to show you how you can get in there as bottom tier in tier 8, make a positive contribution to your team, and affect the outcome of that game, even with all the handicaps that you may have with your particular tank or the other tanks that are in the game. And you can see we were up against formidable opponents here, but we were able to get in there and make a change to the outcome. So I hope that'll give you a more positive look on when you're bottom tier in tier 8, and stop hoping that it'll get fixed. There's a thin player pool up there at that top end, and it ends on that end. So tier 8 is just a different set of tools that you need in your tool bag to be able to be effective on the battlefield. Thanks for watching.